welcome back to the channel. So today we're gonna go book shopping. We're gonna check out some half-price books. We're gonna hit up a few Barnes & Nobles, but only because I have a gift card. And we're just gonna see what we can find. I don't know how many books I'm gonna end up getting today. This is kind of more of like what I call a treasure hunt, you know, specifically in the half-price books. I feel like it's kind of fun to see what you can find because in stores like half-price books, you never know what you're gonna find. So it's always really fun to see what's there. This sounds like something that'd be in Cowboy Bebop. I always look at this section first, even though I never buy any of these books, but I've talked about it before. I really like 90s books, and I don't know why. You know, their covers, it's like such like cheesy, cringy romance covers, but some of these have like the best stories in them. And it was just at a time period where these kinds of covers were super popular, and like they've phased out a lot lately, but I don't know, don't judge books by their covers. I mean, I don't know about these ones. I never read these ones. These are just, I found these. Nora Roberts, she's a legend. She's written so many books. I read one of her books and I didn't like it that much, but I feel like she has so many other ones that I can't just completely write off her writing style in general based on one book. I think the book that I read that I didn't like from hers was The Witness. It started off really good and then it just went on way too long, and like the fun of the story kind of got lost in the minutia. We're in the romance section. This is like always the next section. This store, like I feel like I know the layout of it so well. I have my route. So this is second stop on my little route in this store in particular. I feel like if you're on Book Talk, you know a lot of these authors because this is kind of like the book talky popular genre. Even though I feel like it has kind of transitioned from just contemporary romance more so to fantasy romance, which is kind of cool. Like you can kind of see the ebbs and flows of just like trends, and people are probably just excited to try new genres and like branch out a little bit more into fantasy. For example, you have Mary Kay Andrews, Tessa Bailey, Elena Armas. This one was like really big for a while. I actually have this one and I never read it. This is like the second Fabio book we found at a half-price books. What is this one? Dangerous. Did he write this one too? Yeah. That's so wild that he's the author. I feel like one day I need to do a video like reading Fabio books, but not like the ones he's just on the cover of, the one he actually wrote. Should I get it? Should I? Okay, I'm getting it. Reading Fabio books for a week. Coming soon. Remember how I talked about Nora Roberts and how prolific of an author she is? Check it out. Nora Roberts, Nora Roberts, Nora Roberts, Nora Roberts. All the way down. And it doesn't end there. Nora Roberts. Oh, this is the one. This is the one I read. You know, I think I just made the mistake of reading a way too long book. There she is. She's done so much for the romance genre, so thank you, Nora Roberts. So there's a series here I see a lot of people talk about, and I kind of was interested in reading it, but it's literally in the erotica section. So I don't really know what that means. I don't think that it's erotic. Oh wait, this is definitely not the same book. Never mind. I'm just gonna, you know, put that one back. That's not the same book I thought it was. I thought it was the After 8 series. That's After We Fell. Never mind, moving on. We just got to the young adult section and I already see something I want. Saint. So this is another book in the Fable and Namesake universe. And this is a prequel and it follows The Father, which if you've heard me talk about those books on this channel before, you've heard me say how much I love the father-daughter element, and this is the daddy. Anyway, I've been wanting it because I want to learn his story from, you know, before everything. I also have Fable and Namesake displayed on my shelves because I just love the cover so much, and this has that same kind of feel to it, so this is probably gonna go up there with them. Look what I just came across. The City of Bones, the Mortal Instruments series. Funnily enough, I actually read the first book in the series, City of Bones, and I was gonna do a video about it, like reading the book and watching the movie, and I did. I read the book and I watched the movie, and I literally didn't like either the book or the movie. So like after I finished this book, I already had these kind of negative feelings about it, so going into the movie, it was like extra negative because I wasn't excited to see the thing I just read in like movie adaptation. But I have heard that people who like the book didn't like the movie either. And then like that weird thing that happened and it was like kind of, you know,
Why? I
don't know. Apparently that gets resolved, but it was like very strange at the time. Currently in the sci-fi fantasy section, I'm really looking for the original Heir to the Empire covers. I'm trying to collect them and I keep looking for them. I need book 2, that's the one I don't have. So let's see if they have it. They have it here, but not with the cover. So we're gonna pass. Well, I guess while we're here, let's look at the other sci-fi and fantasy. That looks cool. Sometimes fantasy book covers have like some of the coolest covers in my opinion. This is another book. My goal is to read this book this year. This is a fantasy book I was listening to audiobook and I stopped it, not because I wasn't into it. I think I just wasn't in the mood to commit to like a long fantasy book. I don't know. Sometimes you're just not in the mood. I'm like very much a mood reader and it just wasn't the time. But I do want to try it again and actually finish this book from beginning to end. Now we're in the thriller section. Another goal of mine, well, a goal in general of mine this year is to just kind of expand my genres. And I've dipped my toes into other genres too. Like I really like thrillers, but I just haven't read a ton of them. So I definitely want to read more thrillers. I want to read more sci-fi. One of my biggest introductions to thrillers was actually Verity by Colleen Hoover. Even though I've read several other ones since then, Goodnight Beautiful being probably my favorite thriller so far. Love that one so much. And then Ender's Game is what made me want to read more sci-fi in general too. I know Red Rising's another huge one. I own that book and that is definitely one I'm going to be checking out soon. So now we're going to check out the manga section. If y'all are into manga and anime, you probably heard of Jujutsu Kaisen. We've been doing reactions for Jujutsu Kaisen on our other channel. Unfortunately, we've gotten spoiled for like several big things that happen. So I think we're gonna plan on just reading the manga and just kind of catching up through that. I mean, there's some things that we don't know for sure, but a lot of big things, yeah, we've gotten spoiled on. It was like almost impossible to avoid. I don't know, the Jujutsu Kaisen fandom, I don't know, y'all kind of spoil a lot. I thought My Hero was the worst at spoiling until JJK. Yes, here we go. We're just gonna get them all and just try to collect the ones that we don't have along the way because they're gonna be a lot cheaper at half-price books. Wow, that's a lot of them. We're definitely missing 1, 2, and 3, or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know how many there are total actually, but that's 7. Good start. Cowboy Bebop, my hat. This is like probably my favorite anime as of yet. I love it. I love it so much. So from the first stop, we got 7 volumes of manga, 2 novels, and Anthony also found WandaVision in the steel box, which I actually really liked this show. A lot of people say I look like Wanda or Elizabeth Olsen. I've done a couple cosplays as her too. I actually really like Scarlet Witch as a character in general. We're taking a boba break. Boba is so awkward to drink because you have to like chew it. I have to Shazam this song. Anthony always makes fun of me because I Shazam everywhere we go. There's not a day that goes by that I don't Shazam. Oh my gosh, it's gonna end, it's gonna end, it's gonna end, it's gonna end. She said, forget all slow dancing. Bathroom.
Baby, I can take you to the bathroom?
Honestly, I didn't listen to the words, I just liked the beat. Bathroom, ew, unsanitary. Another song came on. I have no shame, I'll like pull out my Shazam anywhere. I love the smell of Barnes & Noble. These are cool covers of Dune. Sci-fi. Oh, this is another one that I've heard really good things about. Project Hail Mary. that that's a really good sci-fi book. Probably one I want to read too, as I'm trying to get into sci-fi more. What is this one, octopus? It's a cool cover though. I like that octopus, whatever that is. Looks like a kraken. Mountain in the sea. Tech Corporation has sealed off the remote archipelago where species of octopus have been discovered that may have developed its own language and culture. What? That actually sounds really interesting. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. This is a popular one, but I've always never really wanted to read it because it involves somebody going into hell to like save somebody else, and I'm just like not feeling it. I did read Dante's Inferno in high school, and that was a different kind of going into hell, but like I liked that one and that kind of concept, but like I don't know, just from what I heard, it doesn't really seem like my kind of thing, but a lot of people actually really like this book a lot. So this is another one that has kind of been blowing up lately. One Dark Window. Seems interesting. I'm pretty sure it's fantasy. I don't know if it's fantasy romance or what. I think it's kind of more like gothic-esque fantasy, which sounds really fun. So that's definitely one on my TBR, even though I don't think I'm gonna get it today, but one to look for. So this one is actually written by somebody who kind of documented their whole process through TikTok starting in 2020. Her book finally came out and a lot of people really like it. I definitely want to check it out. It's kind of cool that she was like just an author who really wanted to write a book, and she just did and shared her entire journey online. So that's really cool. Good for her. So we're thinking that we're probably not going to get the most recent 2 chapters of Jujutsu Kaisen at Half Price Books because most likely not to. So we're just going to get them here at Barnes & Noble, where we're for sure going to find them. It's a Barnes & Noble exclusive. This is the entirety of it? That's kind of wild. I would think it would be bigger for some reason. This is a good one if you like want something kind of different. It's kind of like mind trippy, but also kind of funny at the same time. Sci-fi-esque, like time travel, kind of. Really cool. I never read it, but I watched the anime of it, and I enjoyed it a lot. The first original novel from the space western Firefly, produced with Josh. I always call him Josh. It's not Josh, it's Joss. Joss Whedon as consulting editor, set in the heart of the series. No way. This entire novel feels like it could have been a lost episode from the show. We recently watched Firefly and loved it. Like loved it. I really liked space westerns, obviously Cowboy Bebop, and I feel like if you like Cowboy Bebop or Firefly, then like you could watch either, like, I mean, Cowboy Bebop's an anime, so if you like Firefly and have never watched anime, Cowboy Bebop would probably be a good one, and like vice versa. If you like Cowboy Bebop, Firefly would be a good show for you to watch. I really like that kind of style of show, and we just loved it so much, and it ended too soon. There was only 1 season and a movie, and apparently these are like other stories in the universe, and that is so exciting. Brandon Sanderson. I read the first 2 Mistborn books, and I want to finish that series, but I also want to read more of his books, especially like the Stormlight Archive, I think, and Ranking of Kings, just like the Cosmere in general, which is basically like his version of a cinematic universe, but like book cinematic universe, book thematic universe, whatever. But this one looks kind of funny. The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. Something I thought about on and off for years was the classic concept of a man waking up in another time and another place with no idea of how he got there. That kind of sounds like an isekai anime. This just hurt my heart. Look at this cover, it's so messed up. What happened? Oh my gosh. That like makes me sad inside. Pour one out. I didn't actually imagine, I was just like these have literally taken over my book room thanks to Anthony. It started with like 1, I think it was the Gengar, and then it was the Jigglypuff, and then it was all the starters. I'm pretty sure they're way cheaper at Target. Yeah, $37.99. I think they're like 20 something at Target. They're cute though. Blush. So I definitely spent a lot more than I planned to, more than was on my gift card. And this is why I avoid going to Barnes & Noble. We're here at the last half-price books. It's already gotten dark, but something about book shopping at night is kind of fun. It's kind of like vibes. I feel like I started saying vibes unironically and it's become a prime part of my speech. So I don't know what happened there. Anyway, vibey night book shopping. Let's go. I've been searching for this book called Kingdom of Dreams by Judith McNaught, and I have yet to find it. I could buy it on Amazon, but I feel like at this point I'm just kind of committed to wanting to find it, even though I probably will just give in eventually and just get it. Fiction. The Dark Tide. Honestly, anything that sounds piratey, I get interested in because I really like pirate books. And it is actually kind of hard to find good pirate books. If y'all know any good ones, drop them in the comments below. It doesn't have to just be like romance or anything, just like any pirate book in general. Dark Tide, I don't know, it could be like fantasy or pirates, you know. I don't know, this doesn't seem very piratey. I don't think it is. I haven't gotten any thrillers today, so maybe I can get a couple of thrillers. Oh, I did read this one. This one was pretty good. I feel like this one is a type of book that felt like I was watching a movie as I was reading it. Highly recommend this one. This is one I've been wanting to read. Then She Was Gone. I've heard a lot about this one. It's kind of controversial because people either really love it or they enjoyed the story, but like the ending freaked them out so much that it made them feel weird inside, so they didn't give it that high of a rating because of that. And honestly, as bad as that sounds, it just made me more curious about it and made me want to read it even more because like I want to know for myself what happens that everybody's so like freaked out about. I think I'm gonna get The Girl with the Dragon tattoo also, even though I've heard that this one is kind of crazy. Like there's a lot of dark stuff that happens in this one. I think it's also a movie. Oh, that's not a great copy. Look at that. Okay, so we have 2 thrillers. Let's keep looking. Celebrity chef Stanley Chipotle, what a name, comes to Trenton to participate in a barbecue cook-off and loses his head, literally. What? Finger licking 15. So it's like barbecue, finger licking. Interesting. Not interesting enough though, I don't think. We're back in the sci-fi section. We're on the lookout for Dark Force Rising. I don't feel like we're gonna find it, but we're gonna look anyway. Oh my gosh, y'all, no way, finally. I feel like it's been months I've been looking for this one in particular. We can finally complete the collection. So we're back from shopping. We're gonna do a little haul with all the books I got today. Starting with the books I got from Barnes & Noble, Firefly. I was really excited to find this one. I did not know that this existed, that there were stories, almost like kind of continuations, or just feel like they could have been an additional episode, original content related to Firefly. That sounds so fun and exciting, and I cannot wait because I love this show so much. Powerless. So I ended up going back and getting this one. I kind of talked about it for a minute there, but I decided that I wanted it. Next we have The Mountain in the Sea. Honestly, I was not expecting to get this one. Also, look at these interesting sprayed edges. But the synopsis on the back kind of sold me on it, and it's sci-fi, and I've been wanting to read more sci-fi, so here we go. Moving on to the half-price books. First up, we have Saint, which is another book set in the Fable universe or the World of the Narrows series, and this one is a prequel. As I said earlier, this one is about the main character's father, and I'm very excited to see his story. Another positive thing that came out of today, other than buying a bunch of books, is I got another book video idea for the future, and that is to read a bunch of Fabio books. So this is Dangerous by Fabio. I think it's called Dangerous. I don't know, he puts his name really big, like before. I'm assuming Dangerous is the title. So we'll see. Then I got The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I've heard that this one gets pretty dark, but I've also heard that it's very good. Speaking of dark books, I have Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. Kind of same concept as the last book. I've heard that this book can get very dark. I really want to read this one out of pure curiosity, honestly, because I want to know what's freaking everybody out so much. And with me finally finding Dark Force Rising, I have officially completed my set of the original covers of the Heir to the Empire trilogy. So that is really exciting, something I've been trying to do for a while now. Go check out my video where I read the entire trilogy. I actually have the paperbacks as well. I think I'm gonna be giving these away at some point because I don't really need 2 entire sets of the trilogies. Lastly, I have a bunch of Jujutsu Kaisen volumes. So I found out there's actually 21 total volumes, technically plus Jujutsu Kaisen 0, so I guess technically 22. I have 9 currently. I kind of talked about this a little bit earlier in the video, but I do plan on reading the entire series of Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm gonna slowly over time collect the rest of these, and then I will make a video reading the whole thing. All right, y'all, well, thank you so much for checking out this video. Let me know if you like this style of vlogs, like book shopping videos in general. Comment down below, and I will see you next time.